Hi students, so now we will be solving this particular problem in integration. Okay, so the problem goes as integration of sine 2x divided by sine x plus cos x into dx. Okay, so how to approach these kinds of questions? Now this particular problem is not at all difficult. In fact, it is very easy. But yet again, it requires a fair bit of mathematical manipulation, very basic sort of manipulations, in order to simplify the particular problem that has been given to us. So how the problem is solved? See it out here. First, let me add and subtract 1 in the numerator. So 1 plus sine 2x minus 1 divided by sine x plus cos x. Right? Now why there is a minus 1 here? As I told you, since I have forcefully induced a plus 1 in the numerator, it is my immediate responsibility to neutralize this plus 1 with a minus 1 so that ultimately we are only left with a sine 2x in the numerator. As I have already told you innumerable times before, and I'm repeating the same thing now, that you cannot forcefully induce and put the different kinds of numbers or alphabets, whatever it is, as per your choice in the problem. All right, you can definitely manipulate the given problem, but you cannot add and subtract things out of your choice, because the ultimate responsibility of yours to actually neutralize the manipulations that you have made so that the original problem does not get changed. So here essentially you have to keep in mind that whenever I add a 1 or I take up any other number and add it, then it is also my responsibility at the same time to subtract it so that ultimately that particular thing will give us a 0. So 1 minus 1 is a 0, so we are left with just a sine 2x in the numerator. Also in case of multiplication, I told you, whenever you take up forcefully induce any variable, say you have forcefully taken up a in the numerator, all right, or maybe you have forcefully taken up a 2 in the numerator, all right. So if you take up a 2 in the numerator, it is your immediate responsibility to also take up a 2 in the denominator so that ultimately you are left with just a 1. Okay, because forcefully inducing numbers or whatever is not right. You have to learn to neutralize it as well. So here we are manipulating things as at the same time keeping in mind that the original question should not change. The original values should not change. Okay, so next what we will be doing here is, now see carefully, can I write this sine 2x as 2 sine x cos x? Trigonometric multiple angles formula, 11th grade, we have already completed. Also, we can replace this 1 by a sine squared x plus cos squared x. Already discussed this in many of the previous videos actually. Alright, so I can replace this particular 1 by a sine squared x plus cos squared x. And in place of this sine 2x, I can write it as nothing but plus 2 sine x cos x, right? Is it clear? And then in the denominator, I will be having sine x plus cos x. Here I'll put the integration and dx. And we are again left with this particular part. So we will be having 1 by sine x plus cos x into dx. Right? Is it clear to you? Now what next? As you can see, here we have a very direct formula of a square plus b square plus 2ab, where sine x is nothing but a and cos x is nothing but b, right? So I can simply write this as, I hope you are understanding what I am trying to say. All these things have been discussed before, so I hope there is no such issues. All right, still I wrote the formula in case you don't understand. A is sine x here and b is cos x here. Okay, So I can write this as sin x plus cos x whole square divided by sin x plus cos x integration into dx. Alright, and then what we will be having here, minus of, here we can do a bit of manipulation. Alright, again we have to take the help of manipulation, or else solving this integration will get more and more critical. So what we will be doing here is root 2 outside if I take it. Okay, so say if I take root 2 by root 2, alright, dx. In the next step, what I'll be doing, please carefully notice each and every step that I do in this numerical. Alright, and yeah, here I'm again complicating it. This sin x plus cos x, 1, and there we have 2, so one part of it gets cancelled, so we are only left with a sin x plus cos x into dx. And here what we will be having is, keep root 2 as it is, and the 1 by root 2 that we have here, that we will be multiplying with both of these. Okay, and here we have a dx. Alright, next, so now that we have reached here, our next step is, we will keep it as it is. In the last video I had already told you to do all the integration in one step altogether, else there will be a problem in placing the constants. Alright, and here what we will be having is 1 by root 2 of, now I hope you know the formula of sine of a plus b. Alright, if you don't, then please refer to your trigonometric formulas. Alright, you have that entire section of formulas for sine a plus b, sine a minus b, cos a plus b, cos a minus b. Alright, because those formulas are really important. And in case that you want me to do it, you have to wait for a while, because now I am a little bit busy with this integration stuffs, and also there's a lot of work on my end as well, so you have to wait a bit, because trigonometry is actually a very conceptual chapter, so I can't just run over the chapter. I have to explain all of those stuffs. Alright, so here in place of this 1 by root 2, you can easily replace it with a cos pi by 4. Alright, so I wrote this entire thing here because it was like the space was really small here, so it was getting more and more confusing, so I decided to write the entire thing here. So what I have done here is, I have the root 2 is as it is. Now inside of the bracket you have to now come across this formula, that is sine of a plus b, right, which we can also write as sine a cos b plus cos a sine b, right? So what is my a here? My a is actually x, and what is my b here? My b is pi by 4. Alright, now cos of pi by 4 or sine of pi by 4 is, the value of cos of pi by 4 or sine of pi by 4 is actually nothing but 1 by root 2. Alright, this is why in the place of 1 by root 2 I have replaced it with either a cos pi by 4 or a sine pi by 4 as per what my formula is required. Alright, as per the requirement of the formula, I have replaced the first 1 by root 2 as cos pi by 4 and the second 1 by root 2 as sine pi by 4. Alright, so ultimately what we will be getting, sine a cos b plus cos a sine b, where a is our x here and b is nothing but a pi by 4. So ultimately what can I replace this with? I can write this thing as root over of 2 sine of, alright, let's not take the bracket here, root over of 2 sine of a plus b, so x plus pi by 4. Okay, so we will replace this entire denominator by this. Okay, so in the denominator we will just be writing root 2 sine of x plus pi by 4. Alright, and we have a dx here. Alright, now it is very easy because we know that the integration of sine x is nothing but minus of cos x. The integration of cos x is nothing but sine x. And what about this particular part? Now you can write, say perhaps I am doing this thing in rough. You have this root 2 here, right? Try to bring this root 2 out of the integration sign. So you are actually left with, try to bring the root 2 out of the integration sign. Okay, so you are actually left with 1 by sine of x plus pi by 4 inside of the integration sign, right? So now how will you be solving the problem? First you have to do the integration, right? So how will you be doing it? This is nothing but integration of cosec x plus pi by 4, all right, into dx. Right, now what is the integration of cosec x plus pi by 4 dx? It is nothing but log of cosec x, that is cosec of x plus pi by 4 minus cot of x, which is nothing but x plus pi by 4. All right, and we have the 1 by root 2 outside that we have to consider. Okay, 1 by root 2 is outside, so that 1 by root 2 will also be coming. Okay, so ultimately what is the answer that we will be left with? We will be having minus cos x plus sin x minus 1 by root 2 log of what? Cosec x, which is nothing but x plus pi by 4 minus cot of x plus pi by 4, all right, mod plus c. Okay, I forgot to give the mod here, very sorry for that. All right, these mistakes should not be committed. Okay, so this is all there is in this entire problem. Okay, this is the final answer. This was a lengthy question. Also, this question required a pretty bit of manipulation, but this question was also easy at the same time. As you saw that there is no sort of rocket science which is involved here. It is just your mind and your level of practice that is going to determine whether you are able to solve such sort of questions or not. So I hope everything that has been taught to you today in this video is utterly clear to you, and you will be able to solve any problem of these sorts if it is presented before you in your board examinations. Essentially, such questions are not a part of competitive examinations. These questions are solved just to clear the basic fundamental concepts so that you can be so that you can initiate solving advanced level problems. So I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you did, and if you learned something out of it, then please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell icon for more of such exciting content. All right, now let's move on to the next problem.